Coming up on 100 Mile Meals, burger mascots make room. Betty is here. See why her logo and restaurants are gaining popularity. This race sells out every year. We'll show you why this coastal tradition in its 40s is like ringing a dinner bell for 20,000 people. One California town has shown a lot of love for pumpkins. Dare we say, a ton of love? Where there's smoke, there is fire, and plenty of tasty barbecue. We'll put another log on the fire at a Silicon Valley favorite. All ahead on 100 Mile Meals. Hi everybody, I'm Romney Dunbar. Welcome to 100 Mile Meals. Local food, local knowledge, and local lifestyles. First item on today's menu, we're going to stop into a coastside restaurant that's a safe harbor for locals and visitors alike. Joanne runs a tight ship, or catch in this case. Joanne is Joanne Franklin, and the restaurant she opened in 1975, Catch Joanne, is a beloved eatery, bar, and all-around gathering spot, just steps from Pillar Point Harbor in Half Moon Bay.
Joanne Franklin, Portuguese, Italian descent, and her family back in 1975 opened up a 400 square foot order at the counter, one table restaurant in a harbor that was mainly based on a fishing community. Through time, it evolved into 2,000 square feet by 1983, and it's just been a huge local following since. And when I say local following, I'm not just talking about the immediate town of Half Moon Bay. This thing reaches out to the whole Peninsula Bay Area when I say local following.
It's amazing, everything they do in there. I mean, it does ranging from tacos to fish, it's just everything is so good. I don't know how they do it, but they do.
We probably could be operating two separate restaurants with the vast selections on the menu, whether it's our breakfast menu, which also incorporates a large variety of seafood omelets, crab omelets, shrimp omelets, cod and eggs. I mean, we do it all, and that just turns into our lunch menu, which is huge, and then the dinner menu gets even bigger.
Catch Joanne's wooden interiors fit perfectly with a coastal harbor town and provide a tried and true ambiance no matter what you're hungry or thirsty for. And Joanne's family has expanded next door to the Princeton Seafood Market and Restaurant and an ice cream parlor, literally bringing the fresh seafood, local produce, and desserts to their doorstep.
We love the prawns and calamari, fish and chips. It's all good. Their omelets are incredible.
Benedict's pretty awesome.
Yeah, Benedict's awesome too. That's what I mean. Everything you go through, they got it dialed.
We do a number of things there that are excellent, and you get to have our full menu sitting at the bar top. So it's not just like little bar snacks and little things. You get the full-blown menu. You could be eating chipinos, 16-ounce ribeyes, artichoke hearts, whatever you need. And by far the strongest point the bar has is we make a Bloody Mary that has a following probably bigger than the food. We make it from scratch. There is no premix. We don't set up a big jug of a sauce on the side. We sell about 100 to 200 every weekend, and they're all made to what the customer's needs are.
When it originally started, it was a little tiny sandwich shop, and it just kind of got a little bigger and a little bigger and a little bigger. And yeah, we've been coming here forever.
Local food and local knowledge and a comfortable place to share them. That is what Catch Joanne has been providing in Half Moon Bay for more than 4 decades. Performance in a 100-mile market. Performance Food Service Ledyard, a local distributor of food, equipment, and supplies since 1929. Family run for decades, and now part of Performance Food Group, one of the largest food service distributors in the nation. That new relationship gives Performance Food Service Ledyard the benefit of purchasing power and the level of quality control that vendors and their customers appreciate. Performance Food Service Ledyard views itself as a partner with hundreds of food service operations, and while earning trust, has earned awards. Performance Food Service Ledyard has been recognized both locally and nationally with outstanding sales and service awards. But it's not the awards that count. It's the reward of working with the customer to profitably grow their business. Performance Food Service Ledyard, serving the 100-mile marketplace. Corleys, California is a small town with a big reputation, thanks to a market and smokehouse that is literally the center of town.
Joe Cutler, the original owner, taught me, don't worry about the quantity, worry about the quality.
And from its inception, the quality has been obvious at Corleys Market and Sausage Company. At this rural outpost in South Santa Cruz County, things are done the way they've always been done, with love and dedication.
As far as basic recipes, good old spices, all the same. The smoking procedures, all the same. All applewood smoke, cured the same, nothing to speed it up, nothing. It's still the old style, old way to do it. People will say, oh, let's go for a drive. Let's go out to that little country store, Corleys, with the 4 smokehouses. And they walk in the door and get that aroma, and then they usually buy some product to take back home. And then it's kind of funny because they say, oh, their neighbor heard we were coming over. They want us to grab some stuff for them.
From marinated meats to bacon, to their beloved sausages, including the customer favorite, cheesy Bavarian, everything here is delicious.
We average anywhere from 800 to 1,000 pounds a week, just that one sausage. Everybody loves it so much. And I gotta admit, it's pretty darn good. I like it myself. Basically just a beef and pork, mild spice, and with sharp cheddar cheese in it, and it's really good. We're hands-on with the customers, you know, not the big supermarkets and stores and everything that they gotta go pick out. We're hands-on where they can ask us, what spice is in this product? Or what does this product taste like? Or something simple. Or the biggest thing, how do you cook it? How do you prepare it? You know, we all learn all this stuff, so we have an answer for them to have them come back.
So, step back in time to the days of the classic butcher shop at Corleys Market and Sausage Company.
I have a lot of people that'll come in. They used to say, my dad and my grandfather brought me in here when I was a little kid, and they'll look and go, wow, it's still the same as I remember it, you know? So it's really kind of neat. We've talked about getting a bigger place and expanding and all that stuff, and at the end, it just wasn't feasible. And you know what? That's okay. We're busy enough. I want to keep the quality that we have. You know, I don't want to change a thing.
Running is enjoying another renaissance, as is extreme fitness of all kinds. One local nonprofit race, though, provides the most profitable day of the year for local restaurants and shops. And they're off. 45 years running, the annual Wharf to Wharf Race attracts elite athletes, fitness fans, kids, and grandparents for a celebratory morning foot tour from Santa Cruz's historic pier to its charming neighboring wharf 10 Ks away in Capitola.
Our crew comes in about 6 o'clock in the morning to get ready. We do a very limited breakfast for the runners when they come through the final ticket, the line, over the bridge there as the race ends. And then they just literally dump into the Esplanade. And it's a real sight to see. The initial people that come in are the real true pros. The European and the Ethiopian and African runners get here, and then about 10 minutes later, some of the better athletes from around the area start coming in, and they all look like they've had a good workout.
And along the race route, neighbors encourage and greet and feed off the energy 16,000 plus runners bring to a Sunday morning every July.
We're waiting for my husband to come in.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How many times does he run this?
He's run it 6. My dad's done 30. I did probably 8 to 10.
Future Wharf to Wharfers.
I think they will be.
Oh, there's a wharf for each of them. How many times do you run this race?
Probably, this is my 6th. Yeah.
And how'd you do today?
I did great. Last year I was injured and I couldn't run, and today I exceeded my goals.
Elite runners make it to Capitola in just over 26 minutes, and then in the next hour or two, a colorful crowd of perspiring and inspiring participants and supporters bring an economic wave to Capitola by the Sea, the biggest business day of the year.
One of the amazing things to me is that these guys, as in great shape as they are, they'll come in and they'll want to put something in their belly, but then they hit the bar hard. They really hit it hard and have a good time. So we go through hundreds of mimosas and Bloody Marys, and everybody's having a good time.
Performance Food Service Ledyard plays a role year-round, keeping numerous accounts well-stocked along this route, especially on race weekend. Scott's Paradise Beach Grill is packed following the race, and 2 days of preparation and stocking up literally pays off. But the Wharf to Wharf crowd brings plenty of business to share. In fact, this 10K race has raised $5 million since 1973 and paid out $265,000 last year alone to local schools' athletic programs.
Why do you like it so much?
It's just so fun. All the music, all the people, all the towns. We get to go to Gales.
Win-win, that's the Wharf to Wharf, a runaway success when it takes a village.
Our friends in Oregon are well known for great food and beer. Let's visit their rugged coast now in our new feature called Brew News.
Just west of Portland, Oregon is a picturesque town called Cannon Beach. Its rocky shores and misty beaches attract tourists from around the world. What else attracts them? Local craft beer and great food.
People like to drink their beer out on the coast, you know, and so it's interesting that we have, like you said, like 3 breweries and not that large of a population, but people enjoy it and enjoy having people here and trying their beers.
We got big beers, we got awesome beers, but we also have super awesome middle road gateway beers, you know, that'll take you from a Budweiser to a middle road IPA, you know, so it's just bridging that gap, and the service team tries to do that. So.
People get spoiled in Portland where everybody has their own neighborhood brew pub, you know, you can't go more than a few blocks without a brewery or a brew pub or something like that, and so people come out to the coast on vacation or just for the day, and they still want their fresh craft beer.
It's not just all about beer, it's also about great food and great service.
Most of our recipes have 2 or 3 grains in them, 2 or 3 hops in them, and 1 yeast strain. So we're really pushing the quality of the product to the forefront, if that makes sense. And the food, they do the very similar type of outlook. The food it's quality food, it's really good food. It pairs well with our style of beers. And they're not trying to be overly fancy. They're not trying to overdo it. You know, you don't have to do that if you have products and ingredients and recipes that can kind of let the flavors go for themselves.
I think our menu, the culinary creations that we've created, the blending of beer and food is something that I don't see a lot of breweries doing. I think that sets us apart really on the coastline. And I think our service too.
They do a lot of kind of beer in the recipes. Kiwanda Cream is our big seller, our flagship beer for drinking. They also use a lot of it in the kitchen. They make a Kiwanda aioli. They also use Kiwanda in some breading mixtures. They use some of our tsunami stout in some dishes. They braise some meat, I believe, in our Scottish ale. So I mean, they really try to incorporate the beer into the food as much as they can without it being like a beer dish with food. You know, it's a food dish with beer.
I like working with fish and also the beer aspect. So we do a lot of sauces. I know that's so weird, but I'm super into sauces. And so like we have aiolis and remoulades and gastriques that are all made with beer. And I think that's so cool. And I don't see a lot of breweries doing that. And so I'm always really stoked about that.
So whether it's a quick day of surfing or a long weekend, Cannon Beach is a one-stop destination for food, beer, and fun. Hamburgers, or burgers for short, are the iconic American menu item. Still, the burger is always being reinvented, improved upon, and adding to its legend and lore, which brings us to Betty's Burgers.
The twist is basically every burger place is a man's place, and Betty's not a man. So we wanted to do something that had a very identifiable brand and a very catchy logo, along with offering a great product. We sought from the very beginning to offer a product that was far above what everybody else in Santa Cruz was offering in the burger community. Although there wasn't a lot of burger community 12 years ago, we started with hormone-free, antibiotic-free meat. We've always carried that. We've always had fresh meat, fresh vegetables daily, fresh bread.
It's like a rock and roll diner. It's a really cool spot. It's right in the heart of downtown Santa Cruz. We pride ourselves on being efficient and being fast, and so it's also good if you're in a hurry, like about to go to a movie per se, or something along those lines. We cater to all kinds. I just love the people. It's been good to me,
The difference between Betty's and Betty's Eat-In, or Betty Burgers or Betty's Eat-In, is we do have a full bar and an expanded menu at our downtown location. Our adult milkshakes are quite popular.
And you even have choices when it comes to where and how you experience Betty's Burgers, or if you have a burger at all. 3 locations, each with its own personality and menu variations. And Betty's Eat-In in downtown Santa Cruz includes a full bar.
We have the adult milkshakes that are super popular. Really excellent food, fried chicken, homemade like mashed potatoes and gravy. We have a homemade guacamole. Our kitchen's awesome. They're always on it. It's fast-paced here, so you have to be going on all cylinders at all times, and they do a great job.
When we opened up and we were so busy, we couldn't be open for dinner. So we had to just start with lunch and staff up, and it was a success from the get-go.
Whimsical art, parodies, odes and praises to Betty add to the fun that make any trip to any Betty's Burgers something special. Half Moon Bay may as well be Pumpkin City, USA in October. The annual Pumpkin Fest weekend draws 200,000 visitors, packing businesses, breaking records with the now 1-ton-plus pumpkin weigh-in, and allowing every local nonprofit and school group to fundraise using a smorgasbord of food booths.
They come to this, they enjoy this, but then once they're down here, they realize all the good restaurants and hotels. And of course, we got one of the most beautiful beaches in the world down here. We give it right back to the community, the youth groups, the senior groups. We help improve Main Street every year as well.
It's so nice getting up here in the morning and everybody and all the costumes and, pretty neat art. So I love it.
A lot of visitors. It's fun.
We're from San Mateo.
Yeah, and have you been here before to this?
Yes, it's our
second
time.
We love all the activities. We love seeing the biggest pumpkin. We love going to breakfast right over there. I love the art, buying all this cool stuff that people make.
And the ocean.
And the ocean. We love Half Moon Bay.
You don't get no better than this.
I have stumbled on the plane, staggered in the wind, stood at a crossroad or two. Well, I've cried to a river, I wept to the sea, all just to get to you. I've jumped the yellow cab, I've hopped the rusty freight, and I've sang till my lips turn blue.
We were worried about the smoke this year, but I gotta tell you, this is probably the cleanest air in the whole Bay Area, being right down here on the coast side. So if you look around, it's not hazy, it feels good, it's a nice cool breeze.
A great idea started in 1971, that just like the enormous gourds it celebrates, Half Moon Bay's Pumpkin Festival continues to grow, feed, and entertain the Bay Area. Nobody likes poor service, and good servers can help restaurants versus the competition, right? So why not a server's race to test those skills? Several downtown restaurants answered SWAF's challenge to carry loaded trays through a tight obstacle course quickly and with style.
What's not fun about this event? It's just great. You know, it's bringing out local businesses downtown together, bringing people out to enjoy downtown. It's just a great, fun way to get people interacting with the downtown and the city and getting to experience all the things that we have to offer.
It honors the waiters in the service industry, which tend to people shy away from that as a job and a profession, and it definitely brings a little more flair and publicity to the restaurants in downtown Santa Cruz and honors the people that work them.
While Oswald's captured first place this year, everybody wins when servers sharpen their skills and we begin to appreciate their role in a great dining experience.
It's just a good thing. It's great people from the community come out for this event. We're all here enjoying on a Sunday. The spirit of competition, brings the restaurants together. We get to know each other. It's all good stuff.
There was a couple rounds that were incredibly close. We had a 1 point difference between the toughest round, and it really was really tough. I don't think there's a loser in the bunch. They're all really great, and they all put their heart into it.
You've heard the story of a Silicon Valley company born and tested in the backyard of a home or garage and then making it big. That is the legend of the Smoking Pig.
After all the cycles in the semiconductor industry over 30 years, finally the last downturn, I said, I've had enough. I don't want to do this anymore. So I talked to my wife, and God bless her, she said, let's do it. And so I started out learning how to barbecue at that time. I had no previous knowledge or experience. I was the guy who dipped the chicken in barbecue sauce, put it over the flame, and watched it burn. That was my extent of my expertise.
In just a few years, the Smoking Pig has added 2 more locations to the original comfy spot Paul started with on 4th Street, the newest near the Avaya Stadium near the airport, and the largest on Maury Avenue in Fremont, known for the trademark ample servings, ample parking, and regular live music on weekends, such as Lydia Pence and Cold Blood.
A reporter from the Mercury News came in, had the peanut butter pie, wrote an article about us that I didn't know about. Next day we had a line out the door. We disappointed every one of those customers because we couldn't fulfill the orders, right? Eventually we started getting more and more people on board, filling out the menu with more sides, always keeping the 5 basic meats, and then more sides and desserts, all handmade. And eventually we started getting awards. We came in second in our first 4 months in business in the Metro Best of Silicon Valley. And from then on, we've been first for the next 5 years.
In a hurry-up world fueled by microprocessing, Paul says the secret of processing great barbecue is simple. Patience, quality meats, quality oak. And did I say patience?
I guess the philosophy that we decided to use works, which is honest cooking at the fairest price we could possibly do based upon cost. You know, cook it honestly, create it by hand, use the best ingredients possible, and that's worked out.
So, taste for yourself the Silicon Valley startup that has risen to top 5 status on TripAdvisor in a very short time. The Smoking Pig offers catering, pickup, and delivery orders. Nice options if you need the mouth-watering barbecue from the Smoking Pig, but want to leave the patience part to Paul and Company.
For me, about being around people who get to be who they want to be, and I feel more and more like myself the longer that I'm here.
Big Sur, California. It's a real place, but it's also proud of having a surreal reputation. Incredible natural beauty, eclectic inns and homes, and restaurants. This roughly 90-mile stretch of California coastal mountains is a unique delivery route for Performance Food Service Ledyard, for employees and businesses. In Big Sur, nature is both a blessing and a curse, the big draw and the big threat. Most recently, a huge fire. The Soberanis torched a huge amount of Big Sur and Carmel Highlands and its valleys, burning homes and disrupting tourism. Then, a drought-busting winter of storms created a series of slides, literally burying Highway 1 in several places, including forcing the demolition of the Pfeiffer Canyon Bridge.
The energy of the place is pure magic, and having experienced it both when it's tranquil like it is today, amongst the redwoods and a blue sky, as well as the most incredible ferocity, wild natural ferocity that I've experienced, whether the Soberanis fire or the winter storms. Certainly the power of the place is a huge draw for me.
Erin Gaffel literally grew up and lives at the famous Nepenthe. She says locals endured great financial hardship when they became Big Sur Island, but the hardship further fortified what it means to be a local here.
Well, the island came out of the idea that in February of this year, the north side of Big Sur closed. The south side had been closed since January, so any of us who lived between the northern and the southern closures, which is like a 45-minute to an hour drive, were cut off. No vehicle access, no pedestrian access. The only way in or out initially was by helicopter. It's really shaken all of us. Most of the businesses closed. One of our local businesses relocated into Carmel. Nepenthe closed for a while and reopened April 20th, just serving the local community. So that change, I hope, will really alter how we move forward when the roads are open, both north and south again, to remind us of who we are and why we're here and how we care about each other and who we really are as a community.
In the coming weeks and months, the roads and bridges will be restored, and Big Sur will be much easier to enjoy. But the community wants us all to know they are open and welcoming us back now as they recover from the fire and rain.
The biggest message I would want to convey to others is to please respect the land here and respect the people here and respect the sensitivity of this place.
Thanks so much for joining us for this episode of 100 Mile Meals. If you'd like to join us here on the program or get more information, just email us, info@100milemeals.com, or visit our website, 100milemeals.com, and check out our streaming channel. We're also on Roku and Facebook. I'm Romney Dunbar. See you soon.
Brought to you by Performance Food Service Ledyard.